All right, let them go. Nice and slow through here. We're going to go ahead and engage. Full self-driving. It is a beautiful sunny day, 82 degrees I think it is, 83 degrees right now. So there's a lot of people out, so again, being extra careful. For those of you who follow, I don't have a huge Twitter following, obviously, I don't have a huge following period yet, but I did have an interesting discussion with someone on Twitter. They're against full self-driving as far as the way the beta is being rolled out. I get the impression they don't mind self-driving. What they mind is that the testing for full self-driving beta is being done in a in not a closed circuit. I'm trying not to put words in their mouth, so forgive me for taking some assumptions, but from the discussion that we had, it sounded like that was the main issue, is that the average person shouldn't be doing this. They're not trained, and all of the people around us haven't signed up to be crash test dummies, basically, if I remember the discussion correctly. And they're not wrong in many aspects. Actually, I don't want to say they're right or wrong, because let's talk about that for a moment. There are certain inherent challenges with anyone testing a beta in the public. All right, we have a red light. One of those challenges is that, yes, these people in front of me, they don't have any idea that right now the car is in charge. Now, yes, I have my hands on the wheel, I have my foot actually touching the brake pedal right now, even though it's not depressed. Yeah, I'm taking precautions, but in the end, the car could take an action on its own right now. And they haven't signed up for that, neither have any of the people in the vehicles around. It is an interesting discussion. And when I have that discussion with people, I typically reference when I was teaching my children to drive. And the reason I say that is because right now, I have, again, my hands on the wheel. I'm fully paying attention. I have my feet, over the appropriate pedal and the ability, of course, to move, to either depress the accelerator or the brake. And I also have the ability to disengage that full self-drive and take over completely and in charge completely at any given time. Like right here, we have a green light. There's people crossing. There's no way I'm letting my car do anything that could harm someone. All right, we're creeping forward. Creeping forward. It's good. All right, we're going to go ahead and go. Good job there. All right. So, to the point though, when I'm talking about when I was teaching my children to drive, I was sitting in the passenger seat, just as every other parent is, and just like in this vehicle, there is no separate set of controls. So with a 15-year-old, that was how old they had to be in the state we lived in to earn a learner's permit. I had a 15-year-old in the driver's seat, of course starting off in parking lots, but eventually on roads much like these. And I had absolutely no control if they did something. If there was, for some reason, they were to decide to hit the gas in any of those scenarios, or not to brake appropriately, or turn inappropriately at a time and cut someone off or run into someone, I had no control. Here, I look at this very much like that. The only difference is I have all of those controls. So I think that's why I look at this and I don't see it as being dangerous in the same way that I see some people talk about online. Right or wrong, I'm not going to say if someone's right or wrong. That's not for me to determine. I could be completely wrong on this, as most people could determine. I have no idea. I think that I'm right on this, but otherwise, of course, I wouldn't be doing it. And I also have to understand there's some bias involved, because each one of us who is in charge of the thing we are in charge of believes that we are the right person to be doing that. So maybe there's some confirmation bias there. Additionally, I'm a former instructor for tactical vehicle operation courses. I've taken emergency vehicle operation courses as a firefighter for a long time, for several decades, in driving emergency apparatus. And I've driven emergency vehicles all over the world for different assignments, for different jobs. So maybe that's also where I get a little more comfort in my abilities to act or interact and understand that maybe something isn't going to happen that would be expected. But that aside, I would want to point out, though, that we haven't had any accidents yet, and there are, from what I heard, 60,000 or more people who have the beta. That fascinates me. I'm very happy to hear that that's the case, that we haven't had any accidents. I, of course, hope that continues, and I hope everyone continues to be safe. With that, I'm going to pick up a little bit further, but I just wanted to give you some general thoughts on that, for better or for worse. Take it, leave it, for whatever you want. See you in a minute.